If you've ever been shooting at any point in your life, you've probably heard the term aim small, miss small. What does that actually mean? Have you actually put it into practice? Today we're gonna go over what that actually means, how it actually helps you, and how it can save your life in a self-defense situation. So let's check it out. So first, when you get yourself a target for dry firing at home, put a little tiny dot right in the center mass here. And that's what you're gonna focus on when you are dry firing. That's where you're gonna align those sights, and you're gonna stare as hard as you can at that little dot and align your sights right with that. And that's gonna get you really dialed in with drawing and presenting, and every time seeing those sights line up with that dot there. If you don't put a dot and you're just aiming at this massive target here, you're not going to be able to focus as much, and it's not going to be as easy to align those sights. And especially if you have a red dot, it's not going to be as easy to line up that red dot, because as you know, when you first get a red dot and you're trying to find that red dot, you kind of got to wiggle it around to find that red dot. If you put a dot in the middle of your target, it's really going to help you to focus and get that dot on point where you need to be. Now, in a defensive shooting situation, you're not going to be able to say, hold on, bad guy, let me take a little marker and draw a little dot on your chest there. But the idea is that you're going to find something to focus on that's going to be in center mass, so that when you aim, when you draw your pistol and you aim, it's going to be in this vicinity instead of just somewhere around the target, especially in self-defense, because the worse your aim is, the more bullets can go past that bad guy and hit something behind it. So aim small, miss small is about aiming at this, whatever your focus is on, aiming there as hard as you can, just an intense focus on that spot, and most of your rounds are going to be somewhere in this vicinity. Now you might drop one, yeah, you might snag one down here, but the idea is that aiming at this spot is going to make most of your rounds in this area. If you're just aiming at an object with no focus on a certain spot, your shots are gonna miss much bigger. So aim small, aim at this small spot, miss small, aim big, miss big. That's the idea. So in a self-defense situation, you're just going to pick something to focus on when you push out, and that's going to be your spot, right? So you're not going to just focus on the big target. So when you're aligning your sights, boom, that dot is going to be exactly on that circle every time when you're pressing out. So you want to be able to pick some spot and focus on it. Doesn't necessarily have to just be a dot. It could be whatever it is, and get used to that when you're dry firing and when you're shooting, so that in that situation, you'll be able to focus on that spot. Now, as I always say, disclaimer, when you're in a self-defense situation, a lot of this focus goes out the window. So that's why you have to train and make it muscle memory, so that when you're drawing, it's just dead on every time, right? So you want to be dry firing, you want to be training as much as you can and focusing on that dot so that you aim small and miss small. Because in the self-defense world, aiming small and missing small, you're still going to stop the bad guy. Aiming big and missing big could cost somebody else their life. All right, guys, if you like that video, hit that like and subscribe button. Come back for some more videos. Hopefully you learned something today. Keep learning, keep training. Have a good rest of your day. God bless you guys.